What's going on, people? It's your man T-Bax, and I wanted to make a video today about self-hate and exercise, and how exercise will most definitely help you battle any problems you might have with hating yourself, with low self-esteem, things of that nature, right? So before I get into how it's going to help you battle your depression, your self-hate, your low self-esteem, I want to give you a little bit of a testimonial from myself as to why I believe such, right? So I just want to start by saying that my worst depressive states, the times where I felt the most hopeless, the times where I hated myself the most, were times that I was not exercising, where I was out of shape, right? So this is just from personal experience. I cannot speak for everybody, but I will speak for myself when I say that. The times that I hated myself the most were the times that I was out of shape, the times that I was not exercising, right? So leading from that, I also wanted to talk about how trapped emotion, which can be caused by a lack of expression or a lack of exercise, and I'm a big believer that exercise is one of the greatest forms of expression, right? Trapped emotion oftentimes, especially if it's negative emotion, leads to depression, right? And the way our brain is wired to process things, for some odd reason, depression in great forms over a long period of time lead to self-hate. They lead to a low self-esteem. And a lot of the reasons being is because once you're in a dark place for so long, once you feel like you're at rock bottom with your mindset for such a long time, you begin to despise who you are. You begin to approach everything in a pessimistic fashion. And one of the things that you approach in a pessimistic fashion is yourself, how you feel about yourself, right? So trapped emotion often leads to depression, which very often leads to self-hate, right? Jesus. Why do squirrels have to jump out in front of me like every single time I make a video, man? Like, I don't like heart attacks, okay? So another point that I want to make is that self-hate is often contributed to from being out of shape. A lot of people who have a bad self-esteem or have or draw a bad image of themselves are people who are not exercising, are out of shape, or feel as if they're out of shape, they're unhealthy, they don't like the way their body looks, and things of that nature, right? Self-hate is often generated from a physical perspective. I don't like the way I look. I don't like how unhealthy I am. I don't like how it takes so much energy for me to do these simple tasks, right? Things of that nature, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the reasons why exercise most definitely will help you battle your self-hatred, right? And help you move on to a better path of self-love and self-empowerment and great things of that nature, okay? Side note, I just think my skin is looking so beautiful today. I'm not to be like narcissistic or anything, but I think I just found really good lighting. So on to what I was saying, right? So the first reason why I feel that your exercise patterns and developing a very healthy and consistent exercise regimen is going to help you on your path of self-love. First one, very simple, and it's taking more of a scientific path, right? Healthy dopamine production, right? So if you don't know what dopamine is, I've talked about it a little bit here and there in other videos, but dopamine is basically one of our main happy chemicals that our body produces, right? And our body produces dopamine when we do things that are necessary for our survival and for our, I guess I would say, our happiness, right? So things like eating food, that produces dopamine. Having sex, that produces dopamine. Exercise produces a shit ton of dopamine, right? You know, getting a promotion at your job produces dopamine because you get a promotion at your job, you make more money, which means you get to provide more for yourself and for the people that you take care of, if you take care of people, right? So things like that, things that reward you in any way, shape, or form in order for you to survive and thrive, they produce dopamine, okay? And exercise is literally the training of your body, which, by the way, is the most important part of you, okay? So your body, whenever you train it and whenever you achieve results and you work out consistently, produces a fuck ton of dopamine, because it is literally you. It is you. You are, there's no other way to go about it. There's no other way to express how I feel about this. The amount of dopamine that your body produces when you're on a consistent exercise schedule is fucking ridiculous. Like I said, dopamine is one of the main happy chemicals that our body produces in order for us to feel rewarded, in order for us to feel confident in ourselves and things of that nature, right? So on to my second point. And this chains off with what I was saying before. And I live by this. I absolutely live by this statement, okay? The body is the mind. At the end of the day, what people have to realize is that emotions are very, very highly affected by how we feel in our body and how we express ourselves, how we move, our posture, our exercise regimen, how active we are during the day, things of that nature. Our mind is so highly influenced by our physical schedule, by our physical activity. You can't even fathom it. You cannot even fathom how much a solid exercise regimen can help your mental health. And I can very, very, very well attest to this, because like I said before, my lowest points with my mindset and with my positivity and negativity, just basically how I thought of myself and of the world, my lowest points are when I was out of shape and wasn't exercising, and my highest points, like I'm at right now, my highest points are when I'm killing it in the gym almost every single day, right? So the body is the mind. Whenever you learn how to take care of the body, taking care of the mind becomes so much easier, right? So with that being said, I had to hit the other side of the face, my bad. So with that being said, what you're going to realize is once you start exercising and working on things like your posture, right? How you stand up, how you walk, how you sit, you are so much you have such a higher and stronger foundation to take care of your mind, just due to the fact that you're walking taller, you're walking more confidently, you feel stronger, right? Whenever you feel stronger in the body, you immediately, like I said before, goes back to producing dopamine. You're going to feel better mentally. You're going to feel better, and there is no way around that. There's no argument that anybody can present to me in order for me to believe that that's untrue. Regardless of where you're at, regardless of how low you are in your mindset, regardless of how bad your depression is, there's no argument that anyone can present to me to make me believe otherwise. If you take care of your body, and if you're consistent and dedicated, as hard as that might be, especially when you're experiencing, any type of mental illnesses, if you're consistent with that, it's going to bring to you a world of benefits in your mindset, right? So the third point I want to make, and this goes back to what I was saying before about trapped emotions, right? Exercise is one of the most energetic forms of expression that there is. An expression of the mind can only be done through the body. It can only be done through journaling, writing things down. Activities like your hobbies, talking to people, speaking to people, that's a physical thing. Exercising, one of the biggest ones, right? Expression is only through the body. And exercise is one of the most energetic ways to express yourself. And I'm not talking about going to the gym and lifting weights. If you don't like lifting weights, right? Lifting weights is my niche, right? I've been in love with weightlifting ever since I started. Right? You might enjoy playing basketball. I love playing basketball too. That might be your form of exercise, right? Running, yoga, things of that nature. If it's bringing to you if it's making you break a sweat, if you do it long enough, it's fucking exercise, okay? It's just simple as that. If it's causing you to burn calories from doing it for longer than 10 minutes, it's exercise, okay? So, with that being said, exercise in any form is one of the strongest and most energetic ways to express yourself, right? It's an indirect form of expression. It's a little unorthodox, but it works. And it really, really, really works if you're consistent with it, right? So, my fourth and one of the most important points, my fourth point, is that along with doing things like cleaning your room, studying and passing a test, getting the job you always wanted, graduating college, things of that nature that people are bound to achieve through hard work, exercise is the same way. If you stay dedicated, if you bust your ass in the gym, or you bust your ass on the court, or wherever you find that wherever you can sink yourself into for exercise, whether it be the weight room, the treadmill, running on a trail, playing on the court, whatever you do, right? There is almost nothing more accomplishing, nothing that feels more accomplishing than getting in the gym and getting results, right? Nothing is more accomplishing because, like I said before, the body is the mind, and the body is the most important part of us in our lives. So if we learn how to train that and stay consistent with it, we do nothing but achieve results, right? And there's nothing more accomplishing than that. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. Comment below. I want you to comment this, right? Comment this below, please, if you watched this video and you felt inspired and you got some value from it. Comment this below. The body is the mind, and strengthening the body is loving both. Or if you want to you could just put the mind is the body. I mean, really, there's no other way to put it. So comment that below. It's kind of a long comment, but just do that for me, please, if you felt inspired. And I would really appreciate it if you tagged one of your friends or shared it. If you feel like you could share it, great. Awesome. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day.